Here I have the Marstek Jupiter, a plug-in home battery that you can directly connect with solar panels in order to lower your energy bill. I'm allowed to test this battery from Smart Charge, who sell these devices in the Netherlands and Belgium, but they have no influence on this review. I'm going to unpack it, tell you more about this battery, and will install it at a friend's place in the Netherlands because at this moment it's not yet legal to use it in Belgium. This will change in 2025. Marstek is a company that started with power banks but has recently also been bringing home batteries to the market. Besides this Jupiter, they also introduced the Venus, which is also a plug-in battery, but this one works with already installed solar panels. If all goes well, you can also expect a review of the Venus on this channel. If you do not want to miss that video, click on subscribe. In this setup you have a battery along with a smart meter from Marstek. The box contains a manual, 3 coils, a USB-C cable and a plug, and a Marstek smart meter. This device will wirelessly send information to the battery when your home demands energy from the power grid or when energy is injected into the grid. And as last we have the Jupiter battery in the box. This is the version with 2560 Watt-hours or 2.5 kilowatt-hours, but it's also available in the 5 kilowatt-hour version. The batteries are IP65 rated, which means that they can be placed outdoors. It will also continue to work down to -20 degrees Celsius. You can connect 4 solar panels to this battery with a maximum of 2000 watts and the output power is 800 watts. If you generate 2000 watts with the solar panels, the battery needs 1 hour to charge to 80%. With about 6000 charge cycles, this battery will last about 20 years. Marstek also gives you a 10-year warranty if you register the battery with them. They talk about plug and play, but that's not entirely true. If we look only at the battery, that's correct. But ideally you also have the smart meter from Marstek, and for this you need to connect 1 or 3 coils in your meter box, depending whether you have a 1 or 3 phase connection. This isn't too difficult, but it does require extra work, and especially if the meter box is already quite full. Through the smart meter, the battery knows when the home is going to use energy from the grid and thus needs to help. You place the coil over the cable that comes from your digital meter and connect the Marstek meter. You plug the battery into the wall socket and connect the solar panels. Then it's time to download the app and add the devices. First the Marstek meter, which is quite easy. You connect first via Bluetooth and then you can program the Wi-Fi in the device. Note that it only supports the 2.4 Wi-Fi band. If you have a dual band Wi-Fi, you may need to try a few times to add the device. Then it's the battery's turn. And this could also be added directly. This can be done via Bluetooth or the QR code that you can call up via the screen on the Jupiter. And the installation is quite simple, but it's the practical side that can be a bit challenging, such as installing the large coil. Initially I had problems with the connection between the smart meter and the battery. After contacting Marstek, it turns out that there is a good reception if both are maximum 5 meters apart. Further is also possible, but then it depends on the walls or devices between the two devices. And in our case that was quite a lot, 3 walls, a washing machine, a dryer. Logical that the signal couldn't get through there. What I really like is the touchscreen on this battery. You can see the information that you can also see in the app, but on the beautiful touchscreen of the battery. The design of this plug-in battery is also quite nice, partly thanks to that screen, and the battery feels very sturdy and heavy. This Jupiter with 2560 Watt-hours battery weighs about 39 kilograms. There is a sort of glass or plastic panel on the front with a brand name, and on the back you have a large heatsink. The battery itself makes no noise and thus won't disturb you if it's nearby. Wi-Fi setup can be done via the screen of the app, and you can also choose when you want the battery to supply power in the house. If you choose automatic, the battery will look at when you're using electricity from the grid and will start supplying back. You do need to make sure that the connection with the Marstek smart meter is okay. You can see this by the coupling symbol behind CT. The nice thing is that the battery can generate energy via the solar panels and supply energy to your house at the same time. You can also choose manually, and then you determine yourself when the battery should supply electricity to the house. You can choose per day, how many hours and how many watts the battery should supply. Then the battery will supply exactly that many watts between those specific times. Note, if your house uses less energy, it will feed the remaining wattage back into the grid. So if you select this option, make sure that you don't inject too much. It's therefore recommended to choose automatic because then the battery will supply the power you only need, up to 800 watts. And that's sufficient to get through an entire evening if you're watching televisions and have some lights on. Of course, if you're using a lot of energy, a dryer or a washing machine, then it's not enough. The app also works well. Installation was clear, as you have seen, and the usage is straightforward. When opening the app, you see how much solar energy you've generated per panel, and here you see one panel is connected. You also see how many kilowatt hours are left in your battery, the grid power, and current electricity generation. At the bottom you still have the Wi-Fi icon and the work modes, where you can choose between automatic or manual, and if you choose manual, how much the battery may supply. The settings can also be adjusted, and here you can change the language, set up the Wi-Fi, share the device with others, for example housemates. You can choose to give the view only permission or all rights, so that the person can also make adjustments. You can also see the power and statistics, check the software version, and if necessary, you can reset to factory settings. With the Marstek smart meter, you have fewer options, but you don't really need to do anything with it because it works automatically. With such a smart meter, you can connect 10 Jupiter plug-in batteries, so if you want to connect multiple batteries, that's possible. Note that each Jupiter battery also needs its own solar panels. We can monitor the electricity to a P1 meter from Home Wizard, and here you see the battery supplies electricity when the house is consuming. It lasted the whole evening. At 7:20 there was still 70% in the battery, and when going to sleep around 11 o'clock there was still 33% left, which was completely used up during the night. Around 3:35 we see a peak, and then the battery gave up. The battery shut itself off when there was still about 10% left, and it's a safety measure. So we can easily say with a full battery it can provide electricity to the house if you don't do crazy things. During testing, there was also a software update. There was no changelog, but the fact that there were updates is already good news. This Jupiter battery is ideal for people who don't yet have solar panels and want to make a limited investment to pay less for electricity. It doesn't take up much space, and therefore ideal for balconies, garden sheds, barns or other small spaces. If you already have solar panels and are interested in a plug-in battery, then you'd better look at another alternative such as the Marstek Venus or the Home Wizard plug-in battery. Those devices work with existing installations, so no separate solar panels needs to be plugged into the battery. A video about that will also be coming live on this channel soon, so don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss it. What do I think of this Marstek Jupiter? I'm pleasantly surprised, just like my Dutch friend. The installation is simple. Note that you have to place a coil in your meter box, but after that it's plug and play. For us the battery was just too far from the smart meter, which caused me some connectivity problems, but after I moved the battery it worked perfectly. It has a very nice design, which means it doesn't bother me if it's in a visible place. If you want to control when the battery supplies power, you can. But I think 90% of the people would choose to leave this on automatic. During testing, it was very sunny, so the battery could be well charged during the day. This energy is then used during the evening, resulting in less energy being used from the grid, which directly leads to lower power consumption. The question remains how it will be during dark winter days, and I suspect that the battery can't be fully charged then, due to the limited solar energy, and then the efficiency will be a bit less. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.